So now we are going to learn about what is the difference between exothermic and endothermic reactions. Okay, all right. There are two kinds of questions that can be asked about it. The very first question is that what is the definition of endothermic or exothermic reaction? And the second thing is that how does it happen in terms of bond breaking and bond forming? Okay, these are the two different questions. First of all, let's talk about definition. For exothermic reaction, it is that heat energy is released to the surrounding. Okay, that is it. And endothermic reaction is that heat energy is absorbed from the surrounding. So the keyword is released to the surrounding here, and the keyword over here is absorbed from the surrounding here. Okay, now let's talk about in terms of bond breaking and bond forming. Okay, so before we talk about it, we have to understand this one thing, that let's say we have a seesaw over here. Okay, and we have Ben at one end and we have Fex at one end. Yeah, and let's say there is a random reaction, okay, which is happening. Okay, and we say why this reaction is exothermic. Now for that, any reaction can be given to you. All right, so you don't have to be worried about that. In the question it would be already mentioned either the reaction is exothermic or endothermic. So you don't have to worry about it if it is an exothermic reaction or endothermic reaction, okay, because it will be given to you in the question. All right, and it is always, it is not just this time it will be given to you, it's always given to everybody in the paper. Okay, now look, what happens is this keyword over here, the Ben-Fex, what does it mean? Let's just revise it in case you have forgotten. Okay, the Ben indicates that breaking is endothermic process. Okay, and the word Fex is saying forming is exothermic process. Yeah, okay. Now over here, if we are saying it's exothermic, so obviously that means exothermic reaction is happening way more as compared to the endothermic reaction, right? So how would we frame the answer to this question? We will frame the answer to this question like that in this reaction, which is exothermic, the energy is released a lot during bond forming as compared to energy absorbed during bond breaking. Okay, that's it. I hope you understand. If you don't, just text me in the chat box, or however the way you feel like to get in contact to me, do that. Okay, now over here in endothermic reaction, what happens is that you have again a seesaw over here, okay, and you have Ben-Fex here. Yeah, okay. Now if it is an endothermic reaction, that means the Ben thing is happening way more and the Fex thing is happening less comparatively. Yeah, and because of which this reaction, whatever is written, let's say this reaction is written like that, okay, that we are like thermally decomposing calcium carbonate into calcium oxide and carbon dioxide. Okay, carbon dioxide. Okay, let's say this is the reaction over here. Now in this reaction over here, if I ask you to justify why this is an endothermic reaction, you will talk like that since energy absorbed during bond breaking is way more as compared to the energy released during bond forming, and because of which this reaction is endothermic. Okay, all right everybody, all the best.